Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Hearts of Iron 3. We're playing as the Total Realism Project. Uh, this is version 1.07, and we're playing as Japan. Here's February 1937, and in a few months, war is going to kick off, I assume, with nationalist China. I've been talking about the Marco Polo Bridge incident in July 1937, which should kick it off. However, we'll see what goes on. There hasn't been any events thus far leading up to the conflict. Unlike the Black Ice mod, which does pop up events nonstop and to the end of time, this seems like a very minimalist mod in the sense that it doesn't do that. What I mean is, this mod isn't shoving these events down my throat, which is kind of nice, but at the same time, integrated support. Oh, right, this is land. Integrated support is at 38. Salt concentration, also 38. Mass assault, also 38, so that can do taken on or off. There we go. Alright, so the Black Ice mod tends to shove all these events in historical events that happen, like there'll probably be events. If this was Black Ice, there'd probably be events with conflicts between the Soviets and Japan, brushing up conflicts between nationalist China and Japan, tensions arising, so on and so forth. With this one, this mod, it seems to be like it isn't doing anything like that. If you didn't watch the last episode, what we did as well is we upgraded a bunch of units. We have an entire core of light armor divisions right here awaiting the war to start so that they can kind of crash through this border. I'm pretty sure they'll be able to smash most units that are going to be sitting right there with that much armor sitting there. I think they'll do fine. We upgraded a bunch of these units as well. These guys are all done, I think. Yeah, they are all done. Yeah. So these units are all completely upgraded. They're waiting for the war to start so they can, we'll probably land an invasion force. I assume we'll put one invasion force right over here by Shanghai and another invasion force over here by this area that things that I can't pronounce, while units are moving down from the south. We might also bring some mountain divisions down here to land on, say, this city right here, or maybe down a little bit more south, perhaps, like here, because there is a significant. That didn't work. Sometimes the map modes just don't work on this mod. I've noticed that. But a lot of this area right over here is mountains or jungle. See, if I scroll over, all you see is mountains. It's non-stop mountains. So I might bring the mountain divisions and land them, in this area to be able to maybe kind of handle these 3 ports and deal with that. We also have a huge amount of garrison units sitting in the production queue. Those guys are going to be sitting on the ports when they're ready. But we also have a good amount of industrial capacity that's also being built. Those won't be done until early 1938, but they need to happen. Our biggest thing was when we do go to war with the Chinese, I want to make sure that we take care of most of the major ports, that we rule the seas for the most part, so that we don't have to worry about invasions being done against mainland China. I don't think that'll be a problem. So one thing about the Japanese is we do have a massive fleet, and probably significantly larger than what China has. So I might just take these guys that are down here. I have these guys sitting over here for... I might move them closer and prep. Same with these destroyers. Move them all over here in preparation, and then once it kicks off, we'll have our fleet in the area, or fleets. Sorry, our fleets. Those are all transports. We have none in Tokyo. We do have these battleships and heavy cruisers sitting right there. Those are also transports. We also have these carrier and battleships, so let's move these guys farther or closer to the where the action will start. Let's get these submarines up here as well. That's good. That's good. So our main goal is to hopefully find a way to blitz nationalist China. That's one thing I doubt is going to happen. I don't it will be a blitz. I think it'll be more of a slog. And it might take a few years in order to get ourselves even to a moderate position of, being happy with our progress. But that's, I believe, is mostly because of terrain rather than the actual units that China is going to present us with, or against, I guess. I have a huge amount of our tech is going into our officers at the moment. It doesn't need to be this high though. Let's go like this. There we go. And this way we got massive amount of tech gain shoved into our officers to get this up to 100% rather than the 80% that it's at right now. We also have, let's see, at least one full army. Wait, is it a full army? We have the North Japanese Army, which has 1 corps, 2 corps, 3 corps, okay, 4 corps, yes, 5 corps. So that one is not quite a full. So we got nearly a full army set up. We have 1 more division. Actually, these 3 that are in the 5th one, I might just take that corps. Let's see. Jesus, what am I doing? North Japanese Army. The 5th corps, I might just actually take that off and attach it to, let's put it to the Central Japanese Army. And change that into Central Japanese Army 1. So like that. Central Japanese Army 1. Like so. And that way, once these mountain divisions are, divisions are done, we can just add those to the Northern Japanese Army group. And then that army group is going to be completely full. So let's move you there. Let's move you there. Let's see if these guys will fit on 4 transports. No. Those guys will. What if I go like this? That will. So let's actually just move them up with the rest. Move those transports together. I could have just dropped them on the transports actually. Now that I think of it, Dedoy. There we go, we have 20. I might give him this guy actually. Disengage timer and fleet tactician. Or sorry, fleet concentration. So fleet concentration and disengage timer, which is actually pretty much perfect for transports. Can't really ask for anything else, to be fair. These guys are pretty much all completely teched up, with the exception of, oh, this one, battle cruiser is, exception of battleship and heavy cruiser. It's perfect. Aircraft, naval bomber. Don't really need naval bomber. Strategic bomber, perhaps. Actually, no. I'm not going to do strategic bomber. We're going to stick with tactical bombers. Don't really need more than just that. That's pretty awesome. It's funny how this helps our infantry with helicopters rather than our planes. Makes sense, but it's an aircraft tech, but it makes our infantry better. Kind of interesting. Naval base efficiency, that's actually quite important considering a good portion of our, or considering the size of our fleets and considering that a lot of our offensives is going to rely on transports, escorts, convoys, all that stuff. And having good naval basing. Here we are, mid-March. Right now there's not a whole lot of gameplay happening. Let's take a look at what the politics is going. Everyone's kind of stretching out in a sense between the Axis and the Allies. Austria is drifting towards the Axis. I am, of course, drifting towards the Axis. Asia. Communist China. Sinking. Afghanistan's moving towards them. Yes, Nepal. For the most part, everyone's just kind of chill. That actually is brutally uninteresting. The diplomatics behind everything is brutally uninteresting. Here we go. Covert ops, or yeah, the covert ops points were up to 17. We need 40 to attempt a coup. I've never done it before. Attempted a coup. I don't know if it actually like annexes it. Like if I try to attempt a coup, does it annex Siam and make it mine? as Japan, or does it make it like a puppet? I'm assuming it would make it a puppet if it's a successful coup. Or it will, yeah, I assume it'll just make a puppet government. I doubt it would just be like, oh, here now Japan. Let's just say I'd be very surprised if that were to happen. Very surprised. It'd be interesting if I were to drift towards the commies. I'm quite... Let's see. I wonder if I could. Because that could be fun. I just disappeared. Why is that? Point 1 towards the commies, relations with faction members, proximity to faction members. But I have no ideological similarity to them. It would be very hard. I think it would take a long ass time to be able to... Why? Oh, I see. They just hit one province that's shitty with supplies or something. Our leadership percentage is going up quite quickly, but our neutrality is pretty much not even moving. Not even slightly. So I really hope, really hope that a event gets us into war with nationalist China. Otherwise, we'll be sitting here looking stupid for a very, very long time. Because it just, our neutrality isn't moving. Not even kind of. Trying to increase the threat on the nationalist China, that ain't fucking working. So yeah. We are supporting our party in Siam, and it's growing. I think we need like over a 50% for the coup to succeed. So, we'll wait. We will wait on that front. Now this one, independence guaranteed by UK and the US. Interesting. In order to succeed in the arena here, the Pacific arena, I honestly believe there's several things you need to do. You'll need to cut off the US from their islands, right? So you gotta land on their islands here and so on and so forth. Because if you can cut them off, let's see. That right here, Wake Island, is the closest that they can get to Japan. Actually, no, it's probably Midway. Midway is the closest. Midway is the spot where they could be to be able to launch an offensive attack. So you have to take out these islands, and you got to. Well, it's just better. You just take out those islands. Um, get rid of these islands, and then you got to take out Singapore. And then once Singapore is dealt with, once you have a guy's chokehold on this area right here, you can have your fleets kind of handling the Malacca Passage. You have your fleets handling the Sunda Strait, keeping the Brits from kind of wandering through. Then you can deal with Philippines. Then you can deal with Australia. Then you can deal with New Zealand, and so on. But we got other fish to fry, of course. That is our neighbors, the Chinese. Kind of looking at the industry here, however, and wondering if I'm dumping too much into it. It's gonna, like, it takes a long time to build the industrial capacity, and I wonder if we can go. What if we go like this? That. And maybe that as well, because we need some of these garrisons to be built. Let's actually do that one as well. There we go. That will give us some garrisons, some industrial capacity being built outside of this industrial capacity. And then as that gets upgraded, then we can bring those closer, those ones at the bottom close to the top. Because there we go. Now we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 garrison brigades done for July, which is really nice. We can plop those on ports, and then I'll be less nervous. You know, I can put them down here and be less nervous about the whole shebang. Because frankly, going to war with a nation and having pretty much all the ports to your mainland, having all the ports to your mainland undefended is a little stupid, to be frank. Just slightly stupid. And that way, once these garrison units are done, and it won't take them long. It'll take them like maybe a year. Once they're done, then we can then we have industrial capacity getting put on these carriers. These carriers take a long ass time to build. A significant amount of time to build. Right now it's saying November 1938, so that actually isn't that bad. I think it's a lie though. I think it would take longer. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it will take November 1938. If that's the case, it's only a year and a half. I thought it was going to take a lot longer than that. Not bad, actually. We have 2 mountain divisions being done in April. End of April, so April 20th and 23rd. And then beginning of May, we're going to have the rest. So that's kind of nice. A whole pile of upgrades just got finished. So that's going to dump a little more industrial capacity into our building of these garrisons. Actually, quite a bit of an extra 10. So that makes, you know, a good 5 of these garrison units being built. Pretty sweet. One thing I have never done in a Hearts of Iron playthrough is research nuclear weapons. Maybe with this playthrough is something that I'm going to... I've done some rockets, like strategic rockets, because I did flying bombs in my Hearts of Iron playthrough. I found them horribly useless, but I've never done nuclear bombs. Essentially what happened was we were invading the United Kingdom, and I was like, you know what? I got a ridiculous amount of industrial capacity because Hungary was huge at the time. We had, if you never watched that playthrough, at one point we had Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, Turkey, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Iran, all that area, and then we had Ireland, and we were invading the United Kingdom. So we had a massive chunk of land in this area over here. And we were invading the United Kingdom, and I had a whole pile of extra industrial capacity to use, so I built a stupid amount of those flying bombs. Like something like 500 or something stupid like that, right? So I launched them at the UK, and they didn't do a whole lot at all. In fact, they did almost nothing. So I don't know, they kind of smashed up a port or something like that. I don't know. I found them useless for the most part, and I've never used nukes in a playthrough, and I'm kind of curious as to whether or not they would be good. Anyways, I'm going to wait until these mountain units are done. It's going to be very, very soon here. So, you know, just over 2 weeks of game time, which is quick. Let's see if I can speed this up. If it crashes the desktop, well, then that'll just be the end of the episode. But we'll just see if we can speed it up. Just to speed up time, just a tad. I don't think it's the game that causes my crashes desktop. I honestly think it's the lack of RAM that my laptop has. So I'm always wary of going higher than a 3-speed. However, it is early game, so there's less shit going on. I know when it gets to the later game, I'm definitely going to have to slow it down, doing 3 or 2 in the late game. But that's okay. That's why I picked a major power, so that in the late game, if I put it to 2, there's still enough stuff going on that I won't feel bad. Okay, so let's put him there. We're going to add a core. This is going to be... The core is going to be Northern Japanese Army Corps. Oh, shit. Nationalist Spain has 1. Army Corps 5. We do have new leaders, so let's see what we can give him. Commando, out of supply bonus? Sure, why not? And we'll attach him to the Northern Japanese Army. This guy is going to attach to the Northern Japanese Army Corps 5. And the next few dudes are going to do the same. They're going to be done in a few days. And then that'll be... And then I'll end the episode there. But the extra industrial capacity is filling out the rest of these garrisons quite well. Or adding more garrisons to be able to be built. And these garrisons, I'm going to be putting them on all the ports on the mainland here. So right here, you know, any port that doesn't have a garrison, I'm going to plop those dudes on there for home defense. Kind of like what we have here in Korea. I also have a bunch of troops here on the border with the Soviets, just in case. Last thing I want is the Soviets to declare war on me and then not have some troops there on the border. However, if they do declare war on me, they're going to be ravaging through Manchukuo. But that is not my... It's not my... Yeah, I just don't have enough troops to be able to deal with that right now. Unless I were to build a significant amount of garrison units like that and place them all along the border. Which is possible, I could do that. I might, eventually. Actually, we have the manpower, we have the... we are lacking the leadership right now, but we're dumping a stupid amount of dudes into leadership at the moment, so... Or a stupid amount of leadership. Stupid amount of leadership into officers. That's what I was trying to say. Stupid amount of leadership into officers to be able to fill it. Okay. Battleship advance. Nice. That is probably 1938 skill now. That actually be under ships. Yeah, 38. So we don't need that. Same with heavy cruiser. I'd rather do them on the year, because then they get Hindenburg disaster. Oh, the humanity. Is that it? That's it. Okay. So there we go. We have... the North Japanese... Oh, no, that's not what I was looking for. Where is it? There we go, Japanese offensive. So we have the North Japanese Army Corps with 2 full mountain corps. We have a infantry corps with a little bit of armor. We have an infantry corps with some Imperial guards, and then just a pure infantry corps. So we have 25, that's full 25 divisions right there. And now that what we're going to work on next will be the central. But 25 divisions is huge. That is huge. That's a lot of dudes. So I might just bring them, actually probably what I'll do is I'll bring them right here. Land them around Shanghai there and just take this area and then move the mountain divisions down south while these guys move south, and yeah, hopefully these guys can meet up with those dudes, this army, because this is an army as well, a full army right here, so that'll be 2 full armies, attack armies, and hopefully they'll meet in that area with their 50 divisions and continue on south. So that's the plan, but I'm going to end this here. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you really enjoy this episode. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed and you've been enjoying this series, don't forget to do that. And I always love you guys' feedback and your comments and all the random ass stuff that you just plop over there, so don't forget to do that either. But like I said, thank you all for watching, and until next time, keep